First of all, Amanda, thank you. By the way, I'm not very good with words in the sense that I'm not good at complimenting, so I just want to point out how good she looks tonight. So let's give that a round. So just thank you for supporting me for the last 10 months. I'm not totally sure how much details I actually gave you about this weekend, and you showed up well, and don't listen to most people, they're probably mostly lies. Kevin, Hannah, thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate that, and thank you so much for those years ago, seeing the potential in me, spending the time to guide me without judgment of my tips and all. And thank you for suggesting I look into this as a career. You have a pretty good track record, three Hall of Fame managers now, so thank you, Kevin. Nicole Crispin, thank you for wearing those striped pants the day you interviewed me, knocking up for showing for training. I do appreciate that. That was nice of you. Mr. Greg Strine, thank you for allowing all those countless development handoffs over the years where I just got them there and you took care of the rest. You made me look very good, and I appreciate that. Thank you for always giving me the energy to come when I came up with new ideas to support them and roll with them, like the survey program. Thank you for also setting the tone for the region trips for the last 12 years by one simple move of taking a hat and flipping it backwards. Thank you to Dave Durant. For a time I was convinced he was Maximus Decimus Meridius. And when he told me I could do something, I was convinced I could be a DM. Thank you for investing your time in me as a DM. That's not a normal function as an RM. He spent an obnoxious amount of time with me, and I appreciate that still. Justin Donald, thank you for accepting me into the cool kids circle when I was only the DM in Wisconsin and all by myself. Thank you for being a great friend along the way. Besides that one time I wanted to kick you into a bush. Phil, thank you for always busting my chops when it came to sports and teams and Packers. He was the only person I texted when that kick was missed a couple weeks ago. Danny Lewis, thank you for showing me what humility looks like as a leader. You might be the most giving person I've ever met in this business, and that says a lot. Thank you for that. Thank you, my fellow DMs. Bobby, thank you for always greeting me with a friendly, smiley face. Nick, your inquisitive looks when I tell you I'm not quite on the program, and our help for a conversation earlier this year. Connor, thank you for looking at me with no reaction. I might be the craziest person in the room on most occasions. Nate Johnson, thank you for helping us lead to the back-to-back national championships on the 3-on-3 tournament. International. By the way, we're coming back for the third championship this year. We're coming back. Brandon Seabass. When I want to go to a philosophical rant about some crazy new idea, your enthusiasm always makes me feel validated. Your bigger picture thinking is inspiring, wherever you are. Darren, I feel like you have my back in any situation. Your loyalty is something I really appreciate, and I'm so honored that I've earned that wherever you are again. Alex, thank you for always making a point to connect with me anytime you're in Milwaukee. I know you had your doubts about when we first met, but thank you for regularly checking in with me on a weekly basis, on our calls, FaceTime calls, and so on and so forth. To Buddy, Jason, and Carly, thank you for beating me. I'm a competitive person, and I like losing to the three of you the least. Jason, thank you for making me work so hard in conversation to get something other than a, interesting interview. To my BMs for the last few years, Selena, Eliza, and Libby, thank you for the trust and the process and the effort you put forward. To my CSPs, Nick Snyder, Nick Santiago, Lance Douglas, Kevin Marr, and Ruth, you guys have made my life significantly easier and so much better for the most part. I rarely see your presence, but I always see it's felt often in the office, so thank you for that. To Marissa, Nathan, Adam, Andrew, and Eli, thank you for making the last 12 months the best and most enjoyable 12 months of my life. It's so exciting to see what we're building and all the futures inside and outside the business with you guys, so thank you for that. Thank you to the central staff, Jen, Ann, and Cindy. I learned a long time ago to never get on their bad side. And through the years, about 50% of the time, they call me by the right name. Often. often me and Dane get mixed up. We have a fun story, but that's neither here nor there. Cindy, I appreciate you and enjoy that you tried to get me on The Bachelor for the last 5 years. But it looks like I'm okay. Josh Dix, thank you for always giving me more credit than I deserve. Thank you for always making me look good. Thank you for forcing me into more profanity-laced conversations than I've had with any person on the face of this earth. Thank you for being my little brother. Mike, thank you for making that call that brought me ultimately back to the business. Thank you for being demanding. Thank you for never letting me get off easy, for seeing the potential in me. I'm so glad that I've had a chance to travel with you to Germany. And on that trip, I realized how much we actually are alike, minus the hair and height. I really appreciate you having my best interest at heart. Kyle, thank you for being an amazing friend for the last 13 years. Thank you for being a phenomenal roommate on the occasions that's happened. Thank you for the memories of the trips there's not a memory that I can't think that you're not part of. Your ability to pivot in any conversation is a skill very few people have, and I appreciate it. You're amazing. Thank you for encouraging me to sing even when I have no idea where the correct pitch is. I appreciate that. And lastly, to Dane. If anyone knows the story of me and Dane, I wouldn't say it again, he just told it. We weren't necessarily friends for the first couple of years. Now there's no question he actually is my best friend. He's the only person I can still tell you his phone number by heart. It's 262-483-3943. Countless time being roommates, thousands of phone calls. I don't let a lot of people truly in my life. He broke me down a long time ago. Thank you for making me your daughter's godfather. Thank you for consistently being the example of having what clear vision looks like, and thank you for always believing in me. There are 2 more people I would like to thank as well, but before I do that, there's 3 things I do want to impart to you guys tonight. Someone is always watching, whatever you're doing. My parents are not here tonight. Truth is, they could have been. Do I wish they would have been? I do. Tony Robbins once said that every story is either an example of a warning or an example. One of the images I had when I came back to the business was right here, right now. Of being able to finally have leverage on my dad to make changes in his life. I didn't know it then, but I know it now. He stopped dreaming a long time ago. So how could I ever blame a person that hasn't dreamed for themselves for a long time? I know he's not here because he doesn't want to be. I know he's not here because he just doesn't see it. We're all leaders in everything we do. We influence people all around us, whether to conform or step up. If he was everything I wanted him to be as a father, I wouldn't be the person I am today. Rolling Stones once said, you don't always get what you want, you get what you need. And he's exactly the person I want. And let's just make this clear, I love my parents. They gave me everything they could and then some. But I can't expect someone that doesn't have the capacity to love himself to not love, but just support and be and dream. My second point, only you get to decide what that means. My parents get to choose how they live their life and how they want to live. Or at least what they're willing to settle for and how they want to live their life. Has that shaped my life? 100% yes, it has. I refuse to allow my life to be mediocre or average. Again, every story is an example or a warning. Life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. You get to determine what that means. So I determined that, hey, my parents do love me, they're not here, and that doesn't matter because they've done everything they possibly could to get me to this moment right now. And I love them for that. I run away from things that make me feel average, and that is my deepest fear of not living up to my potential, and I know that now. The best way to influence my family is not by giving a message, but by living, being an example of what life really has to offer. The third thing I want to impart is really simple. You can either choose habit or you can choose intentional action. There are at least 2 voices consistently going on in my head. One pulls me back to the mean, one pushes me to a higher purpose. Often I find myself doing things out of habit and not intention. They are both available at any time. I choose to live by grace. In the last year, I've tried to follow that voice, the idea that comes out of nowhere, it just suddenly appears. Often in my past, I've talked myself out of it saying that's crazy. This year, I found it more consistent than ever before. This is the voice that reminds me and guides me of what life is intended for and what my purpose is. And I believe my purpose is to remind people and live people and be the example of what life could be about. I'm so honored to get the opportunity daily to share these ideas with people, young people especially. They all have their own stories coming from different backgrounds. As much as we've sold as a manager, that honestly doesn't matter. The real reward, the real standard is this, is watching the reps that I've worked with before in the past, I'm currently working with now, and people I've yet to meet, and the difference they're going to make in the world someday. Since we only get one shot at this, you might as well take your authentic swing at it. The world needs you to be. And since I only get one Hall of Fame speech, I want to take my shot at, step up and say what I had been guided to say. Thank you, Vector.